Hi, so Michael, I think I have sound this time. So this is our group account system. Um, Originally, as the was developed, we realized that the core and atomic relationship between a agent is that of many to one. And in the case of a sole practice brokerage, the broker himself would be the only member of his office group. So when that got put into the database model, as you know, we had a table for members and a table for offices. And the intention was to set that up as a many to one model, but nobody could figure that out back in 2001 initially. So it just became a one-to-one join. Then later on, and you can tell by the establishment date, it looks like around 2003, we got this new groups function, which you can explore. So if we kind of go through, the whole idea was that you could set up groups, and you could set up groups of groups. So let me take a look at like Braemore Realty. So because of the licensing model, we said, well, there's two types of agents that can belong to a group. A virtual agent, meaning it's really just a folder or directly a directory on the broker's account, and then a full MLS Assistant agent account that could be joined. And so what this allowed us to do is to say to a broker, we can add everybody into your account as a shared virtual folder within a single sign-on solution. And then we had the complicated scheme that we could actually add in actual MLS Assistant full standalone agent accounts into the group. And so that's what you're kind of seeing right here. Also, there is the concept of an administrative user. So here's Mark Holt as a folder name. Here's two MLS Assistant accounts. You can see them here. And then there's my account. That must be the office ID. And then a couple more folders. And so the idea of display means, and then a sort order. And then we're going to hit submit. And I think what that basically means that when you go to MLSplugin.com and let's say okay, Office 1, and I'm going to go to this form because it actually shows it all as an all-in-one page. I am working with. And what you're seeing here is that the group is presenting a combination of both folders and full MLS Assistant, which we called like a sub-agent account. And practically what happened was that brokers would say, when you're just a folder in my account, the daily alert is coming from my email address. And so I'm taking the response back to daily alerts from your buyers. That's torturously difficult for me to administer and distribute. So why don't you go get your own MLS Assistant account and pay for the upgrade? And we actually have brokers that said, I'm not going to put anybody into this pull down list unless they pay for a full account. So going forward with the new business rules, we're actually going to go in and say, listen, everybody gets a free account on the core version 8 MLS Assistant account. Web hosting will be the premium. So we can literally go in and organize groups. There was another aspect to this system that never worked out really quite right. And that was the idea of adding in the same individual user into multiple groups, such as perhaps Remax of New England wants a group of all their offices and then all of the agents within their office. The other problem is when you went into the transfer function, it became really problematic to help the consumer figure out to whom they've been assigned, because the sign up or login Office ID equals 1 would no longer represent the new parent ID to which they were assigned to. So there's a lot of problems with this, but basically what we have is the idea that everybody's got groups, and we see that there's agent types. And so, I don't know about preserving the idea of a virtual folder, which may make sense, but nowadays you might actually see these 3 individuals create a team account as well, which again is a group within an office. So these things are the way people work in the real world. We want to make sure that we can present to registrations and consumers directory as all of their members, whether it's here's all the agents in our office, here's all of the offices in our franchise, and maybe it's like the Council of Residential Specialists, and here's all of the people that hold our designations. So this is very important. It's something that Facebook does. We can take a look at it. It's nothing new that people organize themselves into groups and teams, and they are not always exclusive. But in some cases, like NFL sports, Tom Brady's going to be expected to play for the Patriots. But that's actually a pretty good example, because he's actually also been on the Pro Bowl team. So he is a member of 2 teams within the league during a season. So, as we design and model this after the real world, let's keep in mind the way the real world works, because very few software products actually recognize that and take it into case. Okay, so that's what I have to say. I'm going to stop the recording.